Let's be honest, as successful women, we're crushing it. Maxed out 401k and Roth IRA? Check. Aggressive savings and investments? Check. Yet, the freedom our success was supposed to buy can leave us stuck on the six-figure hamster wheel, watching retirement slip further down the road. There's another way. Get coaching courses and community at WealthyU.com.
That's right. That's right. Get coaching and community and curriculum at WealthyU.com. Well, good evening, everyone. Come on in here. Let me give folks just a few minutes. Woo! I got to tell you, you guys know this was almost like 7 days of training. We were just coming up out of our 5-day Savvy Money Makeover Challenge. And wow, who was in the chat? Let me know how many of you joined our 5-day Savvy Money Makeover Challenge. If you were in the house, then I want to give you a shout out because I gained so much insight from all of you. I've learned so much about how you're feeling in this economic environment, the challenges that you're feeling, you know, interest rates going up, the market's down. We're talking about bear markets. That's what I'm going to be talking about this evening. So come on in, come on in. I want to give you all a shout out. That's right. Let's give Claudia some love because Claudia, man, I think you were in the house every night, if I'm not mistaken. Let me give all of you all some love. Let's let some people come in. So if you attended the 5-day Savvy Money Makeover, let me know in the chat if you attended so I can give you a shout out. Yes, Joyce Valentine, I know you were there. Dr. Z was there. Daphne Hughes was there. Linda Walker was there. Sonia Bruton was there. Who else? Let me just see if I can see some of these names. I guess I should be looking up, or maybe that should be a little closer. Let's see. We keep rolling these up. Francine was there. So a lot of you were there. Many of you were, you know, I'm excited because many of you were there for like 5 days straight, you know, and then even came to the bonus training on Monday night. If you came to the VIP bonus training, let me know if you came to the VIP bonus training, if you did. So our 5-day Savvy Money Makeover challenges, they're where the magic happens. However, guess what we just did? We brought back WealthyU Wind Down Wednesday, so we're back. So get ready. And the reason we brought WealthyU Wind Down Wednesday back, of course, it was by popular demand because you guys were asking your ambassador, what happened to WealthyU Wind Down? And I do know that in light of the economic volatility and how many you are feeling, that we really need to have a conversation so that to make sure that you guys are on track. And by the way, I want you to invite your other sisters to WealthyU Wind Down. Because of course, you know, at WealthyU, well, you may not know, and you may be watching me on YouTube, you could be watching me on our Facebook page. Here's what I want you to know. We're on a mission to help 1 million Black women get to $1 million in net worth. That is the goal. And in order to do that, what is really critical is that we collaborate, and that we build this momentum and this circle together. That's what WealthyU is about. The secret sauce is the circle. And if you attended WealthyU, our 5-day Savvy Money Makeover Challenge, I hope that how many of you enjoyed watching so many of the stories, because that was your homework for WealthyU, for Get Wealthy. How many of you in the chat, if you enjoyed the stories, let me know and tell me if you enjoyed the stories. I want to know, did you enjoy the stories? Interesting, very moving. How many of you could actually relate and see yourself in the stories? Could you relate to those stories and really see yourself, your challenges? And how many of you aspire to have the same kind of financial transformations? How many of you aspire to have the same type of financial transformations? Do you remember my mantra throughout the challenge? It was, if it can happen for her, it can happen for you, right? So that's what I want you to put in the chat right now. If it can happen for her, it can happen for me. That is the goal. Okay, so it is WealthyU Wind Down Wednesday. So let's just start by giving you a toast. It is WealthyU Wind Down Wednesday. If you'd like to grab your favorite adult beverage, maybe some of you just want to have some water. It's all good. But let me give a toast to all of you. And who's ready to get into what we're up to tonight? Because on WealthyU, it's all about helping you get wealthy. So, I guess I should say who I am, because some folks might be watching me. So I'm Deborah Owens. I'm founder and CEO of WealthyU, where we help Black women accelerate their financial growth to 7 figures and beyond. And we bring the receipts. We have a show called Get Wealthy, where we interview women and how they overcame whatever their challenges were, whether it was paying off debt, whether it was under earning, whether it was lack of knowledge, lack of confidence, whatever the challenge, what we want you to know is that you can overcome it. Agree or disagree with me? Was that your takeaway? Okay, because here's what I want you to know is that in WealthyU, we have a system, a framework. Who remembers the framework in the chat? If you remember the framework, put the framework in the chat. I'm gonna have y'all work tonight. What is the framework, the system that allows every woman in WealthyU to accelerate their financial growth? All right, Taisha was like mindset, strategy, execution. That's exactly right. Because one of the first things that you have to do is you have to shift to what? See, I'm working y'all tonight. What kind of mindset do you have to shift to? In the chat, if you did your homework last week, if you've been hanging out with us for any amount of time, you should be able to. That's right. You got to make the shift to a wealth mindset. That's what's very, very important. Because what you learn in WealthyU is that wealthy people do almost the opposite of what most people do. And that's why they end up in a different financial level, right? That financial level, you got 1% and you got the other 99%. Who can relate to that? That's right. From income, turn your income into assets. Go ahead, Roz. I might have you being an ambassador and teaching and facilitating some classes before it's all over. But tonight our topic is, I really want to go into help you understand a bear market. But before I do that, one of the things that I want you to know is, how many of you want to be in the circle? How many feel like you're outside and you're trying to figure this thing out? You know you should be further ahead, but somehow it's financial peace and financial freedom and financial control seems just out of your reach. If I'm describing you, let me know if I'm describing you. Yeah, trying to figure it out. Lisa Goodson says, trying to figure it out, want to be in the circle. Let's see, Jackie Patterson says that's me. Valerie McNeil says that's me. Dana Walker says that's me. Right. So here's what I want you to know, is that the reason that you feel that way is by design. Because here's what I know, is that Black women are some of the highest educated in the US. I mean, we've got plenty of formal education. But what we never were exposed to was the most important and valuable education of all, and that's the knowledge of how to build wealth. So, we were given a blueprint for financial success, and that blueprint was to achieve middle class status. But middle class status, well, let me just ask you the question. Did getting to middle class, making, nearly six figures, owning a home, having a career, did that really equal financial peace, financial freedom, and financial success? Is achieving middle class status financial success? Jackie says no. Claudia says no. Lisa says no, right? So here's what I want you to understand, is that the reason you're not where you want to be is because you got the wrong blueprint. Are y'all with me? In the chat, say, I got the wrong blueprint. My blueprint has a BA, a MA, an MSW, a PhD, an MD. That's the blueprint I got. But unfortunately, that blueprint in many cases got me a lot of debt. Agree or disagree, right? Like I need to double click on this tonight. Because what I want all of you to understand is you need a different blueprint. Okay? And here's what I want you to know, what I discovered. And you know what? I discovered it very early in my career. It's just that I didn't understand the significance of it. All right? Like, I didn't understand the significance of when I went into that investment firm and I saw people placing orders on stocks. And I was like, wow, this is deep. I didn't even know this existed, right? I didn't realize the significance of that. That 30 years later, that could be the difference between you achieving financial success or not. And actually it really doesn't take that long. Did you see that in the Get Wealthy interviews? that once those women got the knowledge, it was game over. Right? It was game over. If you guys did not watch, if you did your homework, did you see Leia? Game over. That girl went from I'm not from having credit cards to I'm not tolerating debt to 800, 850, right? Credit score. To I'm not tolerating debt to I'm negotiating everything that I want. To I'm not, that I'm gonna take financial control to I'm gonna have multiple streams of income, Dr. Dean. To I'm gonna learn how to invest. I'm not gonna be afraid anymore to 7 figures, top 10% of African American wealth, Belinda. Well, Belinda Edwards, right? Like these are real women. I want you guys to get that. They are you. And if it can happen for them, it can happen for you. You guys believe that? But here's what I want you to know. It won't happen if you got the wrong blueprint. Okay? It won't. And you know what? When I talk to our team, and then, let me back up for just a minute. Are you guys connected with your ambassadors in the chat? If you have an ambassador and you have connected with her, and if you haven't joined our WealthyU community and you're listening to me, you need to join our WealthyU community. They were all right where you were. And when I talk to them, they get frustrated because they want you in the circle. And they're trying to really encourage you and share their stories because they don't want you to struggle like them anymore. I want you guys to get this, right? So here's what I want you to know. Our framework, mindset, strategy, execution, underneath that, we have a whole system, and it trains you to become a financial athlete so you can accelerate your financial growth so that everything that you need, the only thing that's standing between you and the financial success that you desire and deserve, you know what it is? In the chat. Let me just see if you know what it is. What is the gap between where you are right now and where you want to be? Okay, somebody, yeah, you got that. It's you. But here's what I want you to know. It's the right blueprint, right? It took me 25 years to create this blueprint for you. I wrote a lot of books. I toured the country with some amazing people, Bishop Jakes, all these different national tours, but that didn't give you access to the knowledge that you needed. It was my son who said to me, Ma, you could do all that motivational speaking, but at the end of the day, you could write all them books, but if, people need help, they need to be shown what to do. And he came up with the name WealthyU. And he said, Ma, why don't you just take that curriculum that you created for a university and share it with women? And that really is the origin of WealthyU. And it started out me just coaching individual people. And then once I saw that, okay, this can really work. The point is, I didn't want to go back into advising. I didn't want to go back to telling you what to do. I wanted to teach you how to do it. Is this making sense to you? I'm just showing you the journey. And so once I figured out how to apply that curriculum, and then COVID came, and then it was no longer just individual coaching, it was game on. It was we launched the WealthyU Society. And that was in March of 2020, right when COVID hit. Now, here we are just 2 years later. And what you're seeing on Get Wealthy is the result of what happened over that time. Now, so that's what I want you to understand. And the only difference between those women our ambassadors, the women in the WealthyU Society, what do you think the difference is between them and you? What is it? That's incredible, right? Sonia, that's incredible. So that's all I want you to say. So then, see, you guys thinking, oh, it's going to take so long. And, or here's what I know what you're saying to yourself. You say, oh, it's just too late for me. I talked to some of you guys and you were like, it was too late. I'm just trying to figure it out and just manage, on what we need a big, we going next level, right? Like if you want to be in, because that's why I spend so much time on mindset, because some of you have conditioned yourself to believe that's that fixed mindset, right? That this is just me and this is all I have. No, you have everything you need to be, everything you need to be. Are y'all with me? And what it really takes is belief that you can, number one. Okay, belief. And then it takes action. You guys get this? So what you guys need is not an MBA, a master's of business administration. You need a master's in belief and action. That's the MBA you need, okay? And that master's in belief and action is the wealth blueprint that we have created for you in the WealthyU Society. So here's what I want you to know, is that the WealthyU Society opened on Thursday and it closes tonight at midnight. And I talked to so many of you. And I want to encourage all of you who are so I have my conversations with people who just joined and they're going into their strategy sessions with me. And I mean, these women are on fire. But I talk to many of you who that this program, now I don't want to say program, what I want to say is this community will fundamentally change your life. And I can say that with confidence, right? How can I? Because I have evidence of it all around me. Evidence. And you've seen the evidence. So the question I have, is it a matter, why, for those of you who know you should be in the circle, but haven't, tell me why. Are you fearful? I mean, in the chat, tell me why. If you are not in this circle, tell me why. I really want to know why. Because if it's resources, if it's money, I'm going to tell you, it's not money. Okay? It's not the resources. It's, are you going to be resourceful? Do you get that? Like the reason that it's important for you to make an investment in yourself, and the reason why it's important for you to, because you want to get access to information, insight, accountability, and support so that you can get to the next level. And if you want to get to the next level, in the chat, tell me next level. So I want us to put the link in the chat. And the WealthyU Society closes at midnight. And I'm going to make this conditional guarantee And you know I can make it? Because I know that it's not going to take long for you. If you invest in this program and your life doesn't fundamentally change, but there's a condition on that. If you come to the training, if you apply if you come to every training, if you come to every training every month, and that if you lean in and you don't see your life fundamentally change, I'm going to extend the 12 months and another 3 months or until it changes. But you know why I can say that? That's a no risk guarantee for me, right? Like it really is a no risk guarantee. And in fact, what it tells me is that if you will be compliant, if you will roll up your sleeves, if you will do the work that you need to do, I know I'm going to be interviewing you on Get Wealthy. Right? So put it in the chat. Bet on yourself. The doors are open. We are here for you. I'm here for you. I know that you will not find the kind of insight, accountability, and support, a framework that over and over and over produces results. Many of you have tried, how many of you have tried 5,000 different things, right? And because most of these programs are designed so that you got to figure it out on your own. No, we not figuring nothing out on our own in WealthyU. You don't have to figure it out on your own, because guess what? We already figured it out for you. Okay? Not only do we have a curriculum, but we have facilitators who facilitate and who have been, and here's the deep part about WealthyU and how it's designed. Is because everybody teaching it has mastered it themselves. In fact, you can't even be a WealthyU ambassador or a member success advisor unless you've been through it yourself. How cool is that, ladies? Bet on yourself. Like, you guys are out there in the wilderness by yourself, trying to figure it out. Listen, I know how many of you guys think I'm crazy, but I'm only telling you that because I've been there, okay? I was on the struggle bus trying to scale this thing for years, and it wasn't until I put down, invested in me, and went and found somebody who could show me what we needed to create to produce the results that we produce, the infrastructure. It wasn't until I did that we prospered, right? So again, put the link in the chat. I hope you guys understand that we sincerely want you to win. In the chat, let me know if you believe we want you to win. Say, I know you want to win. I want you to be a winner. You are a winner. And listen, I mean, the real deal is, I want you to get further faster. Okay. I don't want you struggling for another couple of years. Some of you have been coming to my challenges. Some of you said you saw me with Bishop Jace. Good Lord, that was a decade ago, over a decade, right? So let's get with it, ladies. Let's get with it. Who's ready to get with it? Again, I want to continue to welcome all of our new members into the WealthyU Society, into our sisterhood. Your life's about to change, and so is ours. All right, so let's get into it. So the conversation that I wanted to have with you all tonight was really about bear markets, because that's what we're seeing. So how many of you have looked in your 401k statements and are like, man, what happened? Right? So if you looked at your investments, at your 401k statements, at your IRA, and if you're concerned, in the chat, say, I am concerned, right? Tell me, if you looked in your 401k and you wonder, I am concerned. Okay. So technically, I mean, the market was up, we were up about 600 today. I was just looking at stats. The market went up today, but if we were to look at year to date, we are below 20% on the S&P 500, as well as the NASDAQ, and well as the Dow Jones, meaning that when you open up your accounts and you looked at them most recently, you might have had 100,000 and now it's 80. Am I talking to y'all? Does that sound about right? Okay, so first though, because this is Wealthy You, what I like to do is not just give information, I want to give you insight. Say, I'm ready for some insight. If you're ready for insight, let me know in the chat. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I really want to define what a, let me just, I wish I could move this thing out of the way. Let's see if I can. Let's just put that over there. So a bear market means that people are very, very pessimistic, right? Investors are very, very pessimistic. And so it means that the markets have fallen from their highs to 20% below, right? And so that is what, and a bull market means that we've had over a 20% rise in the market after it's fell for, twice for 20%. So that means that the market is moving forward. So a bear, so if I may ask though, why has the stock market fallen? Why are stocks down right now? Who can answer that question for me? What do you think has stock prices falling? Ah, that's good. Inflation. What else do we have here? Housing market, recession. So really, what I want you guys to understand is that when we went through COVID, that came out of nowhere, right? And the markets dropped, 25, almost 30%. What the I don't want to get too technical, but what our government does, their Fed policy says, okay, we have to stimulate the economy. Okay. And so what they'll do is they'll lower interest rates. Okay. So lower interest rates, what were a lot of you doing? Refinancing homes, buying more homes, right? So that stimulated economic activity, and that was what a stimulus does. The other thing that the government did so that, things just didn't tighten up and we would go into a depression, the other thing that the government did was, what did they do? They put money in your pockets, right? That was part of the stimulus. And then for businesses, they gave loans. Some of those loans were forgiven. So that was all about economic stimulus. Now, even before COVID, if you'll think about it, what had the Fed been doing? Lowering interest rates, right? So, we were at 6%, after 2008, 2009, we came back from the recession. How they got us out of the last recession. That's really what I want to talk about. So I want to go back down memory lane. Okay. And I just for a minute, let me see if I kept my little technical chart here. Hang on just a second. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see this clearly, but this was all I could find. But basically what this shows is the history of bear and bull market since 1942. Okay, so it's just showing in different time frames how the market is down, it goes up, right? It's down, it goes up. It's down, it goes up from year to year. And what you begin to see is that the average bull market, it lasts about 4.4 years. And then the average bear market lasts about 11.3 months. That's on average, but I mean, we have been in periods where the market took longer to come back, if you will. Okay, but the reason I want to tell you that, but let's look at the most recent recession that we can think of was 2008. Now think about this. Think about how long it took. How many of you own homes and your home like finally came back to where it was after 2008? Because some of you were underwater, right? Some of you were underwater. And so then 2008 finally come back. I think if we look at a chart, it'll say like about 2014, 2015, we came back, right? To sort of, we recovered from the recession. And then, you know, from 2014, 2015, boom, we were clocking it. And then COVID happened, right? Then COVID happened. And if you'll think about your portfolios, and in fact, you know what? This will be really cool because this is going to bring it. This is like, you know, I love bringing the receipts and I want to show you this. So check this out.
Oh, I know that I'm someone who works out better with a group than on my own. And experts say you can kind of use that mindset when you're thinking about your money. Sometimes it's better to work with a group and it'll make you more successful.
Now I've watched my money double. I'm not kidding you. My money has doubled. And this is since the pandemic happened in March.
Zena Elan's accounts are doing better than ever, and she credits it all to a group of women, many of whom she's never met.
So I'm not going to go into the whole interview, but I want you to understand that her money doubled after COVID. And if you guys think I want you guys to just understand that is the wealth mindset. So when she joined right at COVID, I'm having the same conversation I'm going to have all of you going into these next months, where it's going to be topsy-turvy. Some of you are going to want to throw in the towel, and I need to sell. You know, I already had people talking about, oh, you ain't lost nothing till you sold. Okay, so can we get real? See the sisters who are already in, they know I be like, I'm having none of it. Now, how can I say that with this much confidence? Because certainly not since 1942, I wasn't even born, but I have seen this happen over and over again. And what I want you to understand, the reason why our framework is mindset, strategy, execution. The reason that is our framework, because it was the most significant lesson that I learned. Oh, I think I just froze up. Hang on. Can I come back? Uh-oh, can you guys see me? Honey, can you check that camera? I was just switching around, but let's see. Okay, I'm back, guys. Can you see me okay? In the chat, let me know if you can see me. I was moving too fast for the camera. Okay. So see, I like to teach. I mean, that's what I love about WealthyU. Okay. So where was I? Okay, so the most significant insight that I learned, and I didn't know the significance at the time, was in the first market crash, Black Monday, where the market in one day fell 20%. I'm sitting in that office, and in the daytime, I'm seeing all these middle-class people come in, sell, sell, sell. And then at night, the whole week, I'm seeing our most affluent clients come in, and they're putting in tickets, and guess what they're buying? They're buying blue chip stocks. And I was just like, wow, that's kind of weird. And then I started to, as I got more knowledgeable, I was like, oh, they do the opposite of what other people do. They buy when everyone else is selling, and they pick up assets at lower prices. Now, here's what I know. I know sometimes that can be really difficult emotionally, to actually see the value of something going down and then buy it, right? So that's why it's important for you to have this insight, is because you got to be with other people who have that mindset too, who understand that in order for you, that financial success, you know what it requires you to do? It requires you to lean into the fear. In the chat, lean into the fear. But what allows you to lean into the fear is knowledge. Are you understand that? Like, that's why every month you're learning how to analyze and research stocks. And it will get to the point where you will see the opportunity, because you know how to identify. Like, people say stuff like, oh yeah, stocks are on sale. Not all of them, right? That's what, so what you have to be able to understand, you have to be able to do, is you have to learn how to take calculated risk, right? And calculated risk means that you have evaluated the performance of a company, and you understand that this company will do well in a recessionary environment, number one, okay? And number two, the economic conditions that we're in, that they have a moat, that their company is a have to and not a need to. What do I mean by that? I mean, you're gonna wash your clothes, right? You gotta go to the grocery store. You're gonna get sick. And so it is during recessionary times that investors move toward value. And that's when they start investing in what are called the Dividend Aristocrats. And so the Dividend Aristocrats are basically companies that are in the S&P 500 index that have increased their dividends for 25 years, right? And even to be in the S&P 500, you have to have a certain capitalization. I won't get technical, but all capitalization is taking the value of a share and multiplying it by the number of shares outstanding. So who are these Dividend Aristocrats? Well, they're companies like this. Do you guys recognize most of these companies? Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble, they make every cleaning product and soap under the sun, right? 3M, tape and all that different stuff you got to use, because instead of buying stuff, you're going to pack stuff up now. Colgate, Palmolive, Pepsi, Unilever, which is a conglomerate, just makes everything under the sun. And so what happens is that investors, and going back to my first observation, what do you think the tickets that those very wealthy clients were buying when everybody else were selling? Procter and Gamble, right? So the point that I want to make is it is not about being fearful, right? Because see, they even have a fear and greed index right now. And they measure what is driving the market. And 1 month ago, it was neutral, and now it is 1 week ago, it was fear, and now it's extreme fear, right? And so in order to take advantage of those opportunities, you have to be able to lean into the fear. And this is when you begin to understand that what you want to be doing is you want to be accumulating assets at lower prices. And when you do that over time and you reinvest those dividends, now this is J&J. Now I'm at the Dividend Aristocrats again. Here's how $10,000 invested grew over, what is that? Is that a 25-year period, right? You started with 10,000. That is how you grow your money, whether the market is going up or down. Is this making sense to you guys? And so but the way you develop a superpower and you're able to grow wealth is you understand how to analyze and research the investment itself. And then you continue to acquire you take your income, you turn it into assets, and your money works for you. So it is not about working harder, ladies. It's about working smarter. In the chat, let me know if this makes sense to you. Does it make sense? Is this making sense to you? Yes. So how did Zena's money double? How did Layer grow wealth? How did Dia end up with the returns on investments that she accelerated her financial growth? Because she learned how to do it. Is this making sense to you? So the point that I want to make is that don't be fearful of the volatility of the economy. What you must do is learn how. That is when the opportunities present themselves. Okay, so just imagine this. Imagine this for a minute. Imagine it was January, right? And you're looking at your investments and you're saying, oh, well, I've done quite well. And you're looking at the assets, the shares of the different mutual funds that you have. And then in January, the shares of those mutual funds go down in price. And you're investing through your 401k, and those same shares are now down 10% from where they were, or let's just say 5%. And then the next month, you invested whatever in your 401k, the price was down. What I want to encourage every one of you to do, specifically if you are investing through your employer-sponsored plan, is to look at your statement and look at the number of shares that your monthly amount was buying in January versus what it's buying in September. You are buying more shares. And the reason that is so significant and what I had to learn is that's how you win. So you do not measure your success based on the value from day to day. Now, I want everybody to get this. People talking about, oh, my house is worth this. Today it is, right? Oh, my thing is worth this. Today it is, tomorrow it could be different. But we're not worried about the machinations of the day-to-day of the markets and how it is performing, because we got a wealth mindset. We don't make our decisions based on today. We don't manage our finances based on today. Why? Because that's the poverty mindset. Are y'all with me? Okay. We don't even manage our money week to week. We're not looking and making decisions based on what the value of something is going to be next week. That's not why we're investing. We're not making our financial decisions month to month, because that's not why we're investing. We're not making it year to year. We have a long-term vision, and we know that our behavior today and our success in the future will be based on that future outcome. Is this making sense to you? So what I want you to understand is that not only do you have to have the right mindset, which I just described, which is the wealth mindset, is the second thing you got to have is what, ladies, in the chat? Let me know. Let me just want to make sure y'all with me. Y'all running with me, right? The next thing that you have to have is strategy. That's right. Okay. So what I want you to know is the reason a cookie cutter program doesn't work is because all of you have unique investment opportunity levers. And you have to determine what that is. And it's the one thing you can do that'll make the most impact. Are y'all with me? And it's different for everybody. Okay. So you listening to what somebody else is talking about, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Go right ahead. See how that works out for you, right? No, you got to do you, boo, right? Like that's what I want you to understand, is that we all have some unique opportunities, unique advantages. It could be our employer, it could be our skill set, it could be our access to benefits through our plan. It could be a number of different things. It could be maybe our family has some real estate that we could turn into something else. So we got to have strategy, right? So once we have strategy and we know what our unique opportunity is, and then we pull that lever, it accelerates. Okay. And then the next thing we got to do, we can have mindset, we can make the shift, and we're going to say, yeah, I got this long-term mindset. Yeah, that sounds great, Dan. Then I figured out my strategy. I know exactly what lever to pull. But what's the next thing you better do? Execute. And if you make the shift to a wealth mindset, if you figure out what your unique investment opportunity levers, and if you execute, it works like a flywheel. And that's what you see on Get Wealthy, right? Like, boom, she made her shift, cut out the foolishness, stopped listening to crazy people, got in the circle, executed. Saw everybody else executed. She can do it. I can do it. If it can happen for her, it can happen for me. If she can learn it, I can learn it. I can do it. I can learn it. I can do it. Boom. That's it. Now, for simplicity's sake, I'm showing you a framework, right? But underneath that is the support that you need and the resources that you need to get the framework working for you. Is this making sense to y'all? And here's what I want you to know. And this is the honest to God truth. Is that we are about to go through some significant economic change. There's no doubt in my mind. I feel it just like we did in COVID. I feel it like we did in 2008. I mean, check this out. In literally 6 weeks, we have saw mortgage rates go from 3% to 7%. Are you kidding? Right? But here's all I want to say is every one of you sisters have been in this circle. What have you have been hearing me say for 2 years? Y'all better refinance. Y'all better buy that property. You're not going to see these rates like this for a minute. You see, opportunities aren't lost. They just go to the person that took the action. And so why am I telling you this? Is that this is when millionaires are made. That's all I'm going to tell you. Okay? If you can keep your eye on the prize, if you can lean into the fear, if you have a strategy, many of you are, well, I'm going to say some of y'all are going to come out better from this economic decline that we're about to see than you are, right? Because this is when millionaires are made. Because when assets decline and you have the cash to take advantage of it, right? And you're buying assets at lower prices, then when prices go back up, you have more of those assets or shares. And so ultimately your overall financial picture is going to increase. Is this making sense to you? Be prepared. Do not be afraid. How do you diminish your fear? Honestly, I'm asking you a question. How do you diminish fear? Do you know? How do you diminish fear? Knowledge. That's it. In the next 6 months, we're going to lean into defensive investment strategies. You heard me talking about shifting into assets that are going to do well in a recessionary environment. In our analyzing and researching stock training, we'll be going into learning how to analyze and research and build, learning more about, I want to expose all of the folks in the WealthyU Society and in our Legacy Wealth Accelerator and our WealthyU 101 program about defensive stocks, Dividend Aristocrats, the Dividend Kings. I'm going to expose you to how the wealthy invest in challenging time, who is ready to learn and understand that it is in these downturns that you have the most opportunity. Who's ready to go with us? Okay, so here's my charge to you. If you have not joined the WealthyU Society, join by 12 o'clock tonight. Orientation is Monday of next week. Connect with your ambassadors because they've been trying to connect with you. Let's not come up with any more excuses, because y'all know what I say. It's just excuses are just lies we tell ourselves to come up with some reason why we can't do this, we can't do that. You have everything you need to be everything you need to be. Resources require resourcefulness. And I can't wait to greet all of you and welcome all of you into our WealthyU Society. As our WealthyU ambassador, Virginia Rutherford Hall would say, buckle your seat belts, lady. The plane is about to take off and we're going next level. It is going to be turbulent. There's no question about it. But, oh, this is so appropriate. Here's what I want you to know, and I really have to say this after the conversations that I've had this week. And that is, what turbulence requires is that when that mask comes down, you have to put it on your face first, right? And take care of yourself, ladies, before you put, I need to help you build your cup to overflowing so that, are y'all with me? So you can give from the overflow, okay? This is what's critically important if we're going to achieve our mission. And that is that you take ownership of your success, that you tell people no nicely, that you let them know that the best thing that you can do for you and for your family is to be financially secure yourself so that you are not a burden on them. Is that making sense, ladies? It is not about being selfish. Saying no to people, saying no nicely, is saying yes to your future. And I know the future is bright for all of you who are willing to bet on yourself. Because my goal is to be interviewing you on our next episode of Get Wealthy. So come on, put that link back in the chat. You have till midnight. If you have any questions, connect with your ambassador. Ladies, it's been a wonderful, wonderful time with all of you. We are going into the last quarter. I just want you to know we have plans for 2023. We're going even higher. It's going to be an amazing, amazing year. And I can't wait to show you all what we're up to next. So good night, everyone. Welcome to the sisterhood. As soon as you join, we'll be welcoming you into the community. And I can't wait to see our next Get Wealthy goal models. That's going to do it for me tonight. Thanks, team. And I'll see you all next week. Thank you. Thank you.